how did you prepare for your subsequent interviews?
Started reading stuff, listening to podcasts, being updated on current affairs. That was a strong suit that I kept working on.
And was the growth in your mock scores sort of linear? Was it like a linear journey, or there were ups and downs?
I scored a grand total of 0 marks twice in a mock. But then you need to figure out and adjust to it and then hatch a comeback strategy for it.
What was your best interview and what was your worst interview experience?
I would say Calcutta was like 99.99% the best, and Bangalore was very closely followed.
Everybody says, right, that CAs have advantage, right? So diversity points. So what's your take on that?
I mean, we do work hard for it, not a free bonus or something.
Hi everyone. In this special segment, we have Jiten with us, and Jiten is a chartered accountant. He has converted all the IIM calls that he got. So in today's interaction, we are going to understand what motivated him to first of all pursue MBA after having CA as a degree, and how he prepared for the test, what was his score. We are going to talk about his interview experiences. So let's get started.
Hi, sir. Thank you for having me, sir.
So first of all, congratulations on
Thank
converting
you.
all the calls.
Thank you.
So let's start with your introduction. So if
Yeah.
you can help the audience about your background, when did you complete your CA, and about your experience?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Jiten Advani here. I was with IMS for the CAT 24 program. I've converted Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow, and Kozhikode. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I've completed my chartered accountancy in May 24. After my articleship with KPMG in their audit division, I was working with a mid-sized firm, getting hands-on training over there. And then I decided to appear for CAT, and here I am.
Okay. So during your preparation journey, so
Yeah.
When did your preparation start and how did you prepare?
So I started, say, from June 24. First month or so was pure strategy related stuff. What do I want to focus on? How am I going to approach it? How much hours are needed for it, and just budgeting that. So first month largely it went into the strategy bit. Then properly I could say I was started around July, first of July, say from July 24 I started.
And when you started, what sort of apprehensions you had? So were you comfortable with all the sections? Were there any areas where you felt that you needed to work a lot?
So surprisingly, I was when I started giving a few mocks, like without no prep mocks, my VARC scores were really nice. Maybe because we've read so much of the law and interpretations were good. So VARC, I figured, is a strong point, and I don't really need to press a lot on it. DILR was something that I wanted to work on, and same with maths. Like arithmetic was sorted, but other areas, algebra, geometry, that needed work. So that's how I started. Like I started, thankfully one section was pretty strong. So what I did, I kept in touch with reading, and as I started reading more, the scores kind of started going up. Specifically in RC, I was comfortably attempting all 4 RCs.
Okay.
So that was a strong suit that I further strengthened, and then I was working on maths and DILR.
And was the growth in your mock scores sort of linear? Was it like a linear journey, or there were ups and downs?
There were ups and downs for sure. I mean, DILR, as I've discussed with you earlier also, I scored a grand total of 0 marks twice in a mock. So yeah, it does happen. But then you need to figure out and adjust to it and then hatch a comeback strategy for it. So sometimes it's normal, I guess. Everyone gets to low scores, a string of low scores. VARC was fluctuating, but it was always about the 95 percentile mark in every, say, 95 percentile. But I wanted to push it more and get as close as to my best performance as possible.
Okay. And so regarding your CA prep,
Yeah.
right? So all the CAs are used to studying for long hours.
Yeah.
So do you think that kind of also help in CAT preparation?
I personally think that CAT prep, you can't really saturate so much in one day. You need to break it down in sections. I was comfortable reading for long hours, so that really helped. But for maths and DLR, I don't think you can do more than 4 or 5 hours a day. So consistency is more important in that aspect. You solve 4-5 sets of DLR every day and do how much ever of maths you can after that. uh, I guess the common portion between DILR and maths, arithmetic, for ratio, proportion, and these chapters, it's important that we focus on it so that both the sections get covered. And if I would frankly say, if we're lucky enough to get a few DI sets, then those chapters really help. Like we had in the slot 3 also, we had an observation based set. So that really helps then, because you're doing one particular set of chapters that helps in both the sections.
So a lot of CAs, right? Of course,
Yeah.
the professional qualification.
Yeah.
So I've seen some CAs say that they don't want to do an MBA, and some CAs say they want to do an MBA. So any particular reason as to why you decided to go for an MBA?
So when I was working with KPMG, I was interacting with people on the business end, and most of my clients were either in banks or financial companies. I was always intrigued by the business side and wanted to cross over and work in the industry, rather than just being limited to audit or tax.
Okay.
So that's what something that kind of motivated me, and I mean, it's all that side has always had an attraction of its own, and even the career prospects are much more better. So
And how many hours did you prepare for during the? So you started around
Yeah.
July, you said, right?
four
So,
five hours a day at the most, not more than that.
Mhm.
I But that's excluding the VARC reading prep, because reading I really don't count as prep. There's more of a offshoot, like a leisure time for me. So other than that, maths and DL are 4-5 hours a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, of course, everybody says, right, that CAs have advantage, right? So diversity points. So what's your take on that?
I mean, we do work hard for it. It's not that we get it. It's not a free bonus or something. It's something that we worked hard for, and then see, the selection criteria is up to the institute. It's not in our hands. We play on the level field that's presented to us. So that's about it.
Okay. Any particular setbacks that you faced during the journey?
I mean, as I alluded to earlier, a couple of mocks, the DLR, I couldn't do well. There was a grand total of 0. That really played on my psyche. But the key is not to focus on that one particular mock. Keep practicing, keep continuing your journey, and you see, end of the day, for clearing your sectional cutoffs, you need one set, one set net correct, 5 questions. That's going to at least clear your sectional cutoffs. So in 40 minutes, you will do. If you go through, I can talk about the IMS prep material. Even if you just go through the class exercises and you attend the lectures, that is at least going to happen. If you do your practice exercises as well, and you do the practice sets, around 2 sets, that's comfortably achievable. When we're down, it's important to trust the process, trust your mentors, and reach out to the IMS mentors for help whenever necessary.
Okay. And if you were to look back on the prep journey,
Yeah.
And you can go back in time, would
Yeah.
you like to change anything?
Nothing major as such, but it's just that a period of uncertainty that was there, and I was stressing over my DILR. I wouldn't want to stress as much over a DILR and just trust the process more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the CAT result came out, and then you started getting calls. So
Yeah.
how did you prepare for your subsequent interviews?
So I've always been in touch with current affairs and geopolitics. So that's something that I do as a hobby. So I've always been up to date for that, and I started reading stuff, listening to podcasts, being updated on current affairs. That was a strong suit that I kept working on. And other than that, I guess Lucknow interview was very very early, like 21st of Jan. So gave a couple of mocks before it, mock interviews, took the feedback, and then went for the Lucknow interview.
Okay. And what was your best interview, and what was your worst interview experience?
I would say Calcutta was like 99.99% the best, and Bangalore was very closely followed, like a 1920 or even closer than that. After that, Kozhikode was really nice, then Ahmedabad, and Lucknow then.
So what happened in that interview because of which you are saying this was the best interview versus the not so great interview?
So Calcutta and Bangalore, the panel were much more open to having a conversation. It was more of a discussion. understanding what's my thought process on current affairs and general affairs. So it was a much more of an open interview. Ahmedabad was sort of driven. They had a set specific questions that they wanted to ask me. Uh, but two major themes that played out in for almost all my interviews. One was the wars that are happening and the current affairs, and second was AI.
Okay.
I was consistently asked on AI on almost every interview, especially Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta.
Interesting. So was it because of something you said during the interview, or just
No,
like that they were asking about AI?
AI was, I guess, it was asked to a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular questions that you remember which were really tricky?
So there was an incident of ChatGPT when someone had asked me what is greater, 9.9 or 9.11, and I guess ChatGPT had said that 9.11 is greater.
Okay.
So that was asked to me in my Ahmedabad interview, maybe Ahmedabad or one of the ABC interviews. Then the general theme was, can we rely on AI? How reliable is it? How will you deploy it? So they were asking, grilling on AI, like,
Okay.
how would you deploy it as a manager? How reliable it is?
So what's your plan from now?
So now, going to IIM Ahmedabad, it's been a dream. It's come true. So excited about it and looking forward to the journey ahead.
And what's the plan after that? So consulting or
So
corporate
I'm
finance?
more inclined towards finance, especially IB. And after that, maybe public policy, like 10, 12 years down the line.
Okay.
Public policy is something that intrigues me, and I would like to work in that area.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So any tips that you have for students who are watching this, because our viewers will be CAT 25,
Yeah.
26 aspirants. So as a non-engineer, how to prepare, and in general also how somebody should prepare. So what are your tips?
I would say read a lot, because it not only helps you in your VARC, also helps you in your interviews. Because if you see, Ahmedabad has about 60% weighted for the written test and interview. Calcutta has about 56%. Bangalore has about 50%. So a bulk of your final selection depends upon your interview and your written test. So reading would not only help you in your interview prep, but also help you in your VARC. I would say out of the three sections, you need to have one section that you can bank on, that even at any given day, you can go in and rely on it and it's going to deliver. Any one section. And the other two sections work equally. Focus more on your strengths rather than on your weaknesses. See, if you don't know geometry, leave geometry. Focus arithmetic, focus algebra. Do level of difficulty 1, 2, 3, 4. Give your best in arithmetic and algebra, because sufficiently those two are going to give you pretty high marks and pretty nice percentile in maths. So instead of focusing on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths, shore them up, and side by side you work on your weaknesses.
I hope they just take it in the right spirit that you said that don't do something. But because if you have time, then of course you can do it.
See, if you have time, you do it. But first, I would say focus that at least you get. Say, for example, arithmetic. You get around 8 questions. Focus on getting at least 8 correct. If you're strong in arithmetic, why not just get those 8? Then algebra, you get another 8. So if first your arithmetic and algebra you're getting about 12, 13 net correct, at least if you're at that level, then go and add something additional.
Any particular section where you could have done better during the test?
I would say maths, quants.
So you underperformed in maths a little bit.
So it's also important that when you're giving mocks at home, we in this perfect cocoon of an environment. The AC is on, the fan is on, there's no disturbance. You just had food, and you're at your peak level of performance. On the day of CAT, it's been 5-6 hours since you've had anything. You get hungry. There's no caffeine in your system. You're probably dehydrated. You don't want to use the washroom during the exam. Plus, it's sometimes the CAT environment is less than ideal. There's noise, there's disturbance. For example, where I was there in my center, a couple of the systems started not responding, including the candidate who was sitting right besides me. And then there was a discussion between the candidate and the invigilators and the supervisors, and I was like, "You're trying to focus on my section." So it get used to giving mocks in an uncomfortable environment. That is something that I would recommend. Don't always give your mocks in a perfect situation.
So conditioning
is
what you
focus on that, because see, first 2 months you can give mocks in your comfort environment, but at least a month or so get used to giving mocks in an uncomfortable environment. that is something that would have helped.
Okay. And do you think because you had work experience, it helped you more during your interviews?
It does help, but then all the questions are around your work ex, so it does help. Yeah.
Okay. So were your interviews more towards work experience or more towards general geopolitical
Ahmedabad
things?
was more towards work experience. Bangalore was a mix. Calcutta was more towards general
Hmm.
affairs.
Okay.
But it does help. It does help. In the interviews, really helps.
Okay. All right. Any one last minute advice that you want to share with CAT 25 aspirants?
Nothing as such. I mean, be consistent, trust the process, trust yourself, and reach out to your mentors whenever you all need some help.
Okay.
Yeah.
So great. Thank you so much, Jiten, for
Thank you,
taking
sir.
out time
Thank
and
you,
doing
Ham.
this.
Thank you, sir.
All the best to you.
Thank you, sir.